Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As you come into the chat, be sure to drop your elephants and your crowns and let me know where you're watching from. I love when I come into the room and I see everyone having a conversation. I literally watch Love and Marriage Huntsville multiple times throughout the day in the middle of trying to do some stuff, trying to enjoy what I have left of Amsterdam that I haven't seen. Fourth time here, but there's still a lot that I got to see this trip. So if you guys are just joining us, be sure to like the video if you haven't liked it already. And as I always say, slap that like button as if it was Marsau and Martel. They really said some chauvinistic things. I had to really replay. I was like, is he talking about men taking back power, Martel? Okay. All right. If only they realized how much they sound like, let me not get political. People are not able to associate how hypocritical they are when it's something that they truly believe in. Just saying. Shout out to everyone that's already in the chat, guys. Don't forget, we are still raising money for Black Women's Health Imperative in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We are trying to reach our goal of $2,500. We are almost halfway there. If you can donate, please feel free to share it. And if you can donate, please feel free to donate. More information is available on all the videos that we've posted previously today. After the live, I'll be posting the link here. And of course, this week, we will do a special live promoting that as well. So stay tuned for all of those details. Shout out to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. If you'd like to become a member of the channel, head on over to TheKempire.com. And don't forget to subscribe to my podcast, rate and review it, because that does matter. Kempire Radio on all podcast platforms. Stay tuned for a new episode very, very soon. Okay. All right. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. And this is a different time. I'm experimenting with the time. Normally we would do a Love and Marriage recap at 12 p.m. Eastern. I'm experimenting to see if this time works. If you're watching the replay of this, be sure to let me know in the comment section if this is a better time, or, if we continue doing our Sunday afternoon live chat. You can let me know if this is a better time as well. You're not late, Gail. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are just beginning. So at the top of this episode, Tisha's still in therapy with one of my favorite therapists on reality TV, and he makes so much sense. However, I did get a little bit of bias from him, but he's human. Of course, he's going to give a little bit of bias, but maybe he also understands Marsau because he got to meet Marsau. Maybe he watches the show and realizes that Marsau was a mess. I don't know. Let me just make sure all my audio and everything is good. Testing. There we go. Just making sure. Turn this off, actually. Testing. There we go. I should never do things in the middle of a live. I just want to, and I'm muting myself. Let me just make sure all these things are working. There we go. Just want to make sure you guys look. I brought this mic with me on this trip. I'm making sure that I use it. Guys, we already have over 100 and something people in the chat. Be sure to like the video if you haven't liked it already. So at the top of this episode, Love and Marriage Huntsville, we're rounding out to the end. We're already on episode 14. Tisha's in therapy. Tisha feels as if the only thing that she can offer Marsau is her body. Is that the only thing that she feels that she can offer? She says in the beginning of their relationship that she was very independent, and Marsau, doing the mind F that he likes to do with Tisha, says that she needs to be what is it? I forgot the actual word. I had never heard that word in my life. I said, he's been manipulating this woman since her heyday, but she seems a little easily manipulated. And I know a lot of you believe that Tisha is manipulative too. But I really do feel that I'm glad that she's continuing with therapy, and I hope she's just not doing it for the show, that she is continuing to go see Dr. Francis or another therapist, because she needs it. She needs it because if she spent so many years under the thumb of Marsau, And they might have a great relationship that works for them. That's fine. But you can already tell that she's sort of like reaching out for help through the show, through going to a therapist. She needs this. She really needs this. All of us need therapy. Look, I'm about to sign up too. Once I get back and I'm settled, I'm like, I'm going to get me a therapist. Okay. Because I believe in it. I was a psychology major. I believe in mental health. Everyone needs it every once in a while. And I definitely think that Tisha needs it. And I think their marriage needs it. I think their marriage needs it. Logan says, at this point, I want to go to Dr. Francis is one of the minute I saw him on the show, and he was Martel and Melody, that scene with them, Martel does not like Dr. Francis. He does not like Dr. Francis, but Dr. Francis is the best reality TV therapist I've seen in a very long time. Best. Let me take a sip. Speaking of taking a sip, shout out to everyone you guys are still supporting, and I appreciate you because I believe in the coldest water bottle. The coldest water bottle can keep your water cold for 36 plus hours. They come in so many great colors, sizes, and you can get a discount by using the discount code let me pull it up. Hold on, y'all. KEMP10 for 10% off. I didn't remember promoting it, but I was like, oh, people are buying. And I appreciate you guys buying and supporting, because when you buy, you are also supporting the channel as well. And shout out to our friends over at the Coldest Water Bottle. I love my Coldest Water Bottle. I miss my Coldest Water Bottle. I can't wait to be guggling from that on live and getting back to dancing on live. We will get back to that, y'all. We will get back to that. Everyone's saying that they love Dr. Francis. Gail says Martel really needs Dr. Francis. I think everyone needs Dr. Francis, especially Tisha. And I think Tisha more than ever needs this man in her life. I don't know what Tisha's relationship with her father is. The only person we get to see is Miss Wanda. Not sure what the relationship has been for Tisha, but if I was to use my psychology degree, she has issues with her dad. She has issues with her dad, and she goes back to trying to resolve those issues with her relationship with Marsau. That's what she's doing. If we want to get psychological here, she's trying to resolve the relationship with her father through Marsau. Exactly. Lala says therapy is vital to mental health. It is. And we all need it. Even if you think you're in a great place, therapy, and that's why I said I'm going to start looking into going to my own therapist, because I know right now I don't necessarily need it. But you also want to start figuring that out, because when you get a therapist, it's not going to be automatic. It's like a relationship. It is a relationship. You got to fill people out. Some people you're not going to jive well with. So that's why I'm saying that process of, even if you don't think you need a therapist right now, it's important to get your doctors together. And when I say doctors, your therapist, your primary care physician, your dermatologist, your ophthalmologist. I mean, I go I think once a year or something like for that. Your allergy, you got to get your team of doctors together. Okay. Those are important. Okay. Just saying. Exactly. Clem said you have to feel comfortable, and that takes time. And you may never feel comfortable with the first person that you get as a therapist. I think I would feel comfortable with Dr. Francis, though. Dr. Francis, he tells it like, I think Dr. Francis, though, would also a little intimidate me, because he has this sort of strong personality. I need Dr. Francis to sit down. Was he not? He wasn't sitting down in this. I don't think he ever sits down. I don't like that, Dr. Francis. I love you, but I need you to sit down. We need to have a conversation. I don't want to feel like you're hovering over. That part would make me nervous too. See, Gail agrees. I had to build a relationship with my doctor. All of them. I have to say though, I have my direct care doctor, like my primary care physician. I love my primary care physician. He's younger than me. But he's brilliant. He's concise. I love my primary. I'm just saying. And I love my dentist, and I love my dental hygienist. I've been going to them for years. So once you got your team together, I remember when my dentist retired, I said, what? But then I thought to myself, oh, it's not my dental hygienist that's retiring, it's the dentist. You see the dentist for a hot minute. I see my dental hygienist the longest. Just saying. Daniel says my PCP is the bomb. And I know, especially for women, especially for women of color, especially for people of color, going to the doctor is something that has been hard for our community. So when you're able to find people that you feel comfortable with and that are able to help you understand your health in a better way, that's important. And that's why I also love on Love and Marriage that they have this Black doctor. But again, I need Dr. Francis to sit down. He got the whiteboard behind him. Dr. Francis, he's a different type of therapist. He's a different type of therapist, but I like him. But I like him. Tisha needs him, and I hope that we get more of. One of the questions, Carlos, that we needs to be asked at this reunion. Did the reunion happen already for Love and Marriage Huntsville? I know he was asking for questions. Well, I hope they ask this question. Is she still going to therapy? Or, is Marcel still going to therapy? I kind of need Carlos King to host the reunion because I feel like he would ask the questions. I don't think Egypt is going to ask those questions. I like Egypt. I've listened to Egypt on the radio. I know Egypt on HGTV. I like her. I don't really love her as the reunion host, though. And I'm not trying to make her lose her job because I don't want her to lose her job, but she got many jobs. She'll be all right. Okay. Guys, if you're just joining us, we are, of course, talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville. Again, here's your weekly reminder. I want to Love and Marriage Brooklyn. I want to Love and Marriage Brooklyn. I want Carlos King to give us what Real Housewives of New York should have given us. Just saying. Okay, so we're going to move on from Tisha because we're going to get back to Tisha. We're going to move on from there and talk about Martel and the conversation that the family had at the park. They had this really, and again, at the top of the season, they went to co-parenting classes, and I kind of wish we got more of that in this episode, or this season, I should say, and we didn't. But I thought this conversation that they had with the kids, and I love the kids. The kids are the spitting image of both of them, but their son, oh my gosh. They had me cracking up, but I love the fact that they were honest. Kids are going to be kids. They're not really going to censor themselves. If they do, it's because parents have pushed that on them. But I thought the conversation and things that were brought up were important. And the kids, they're kids. They don't want to, this is very fresh for them. We have to remember this is very fresh for them. They want their parents to get back together. They don't want step mommy and step daddy, but I love how Melody really tries to gear the conversation. Well, if it does happen, she's trying to, set them up as, okay, in the future that might happen. Mommy wants to date. Mommy shouldn't be wasting all that goodness, and neither should Martel. I mean, he's not wasting all that goodness, I'm sure. They also talk about the kids finally meeting the fifth baby. But Martel says he's not sure if he wants Melody there. And I get that. I don't know how to handle a situation like that. I've never been in such a messy situation. How do you handle a situation like that? I know Ludacris and Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, didn't they all have like babies when they were on breaks? I wonder how they navigate those relationships. I know with Ludacris, you do see his other daughter very involved in hanging out with his current wife and their daughter. So I don't know how you navigate a situation like that. And I hope I never have. I mean, it would take a miracle for that to happen. For me to be in that situation, it would take almost a miracle. But either way, I don't know if I could do it. Do you wait till they're 18? I think that's too long. I think you got to give kids a little bit more credit than that. I think that's way too long to wait to have this conversation, because those years that they could be getting to know their sibling, this is their sibling. Wait, someone said, I know Miss Keita, but that's what they said. We were on a break, so I'm just going with it. But wink, wink. We know Ludacris and all of them weren't on breaks. We remember that time. That was a few years ago, but anyways. Guys, if you're just joining us, we're talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 3, Episode 14. I thought the conversation was good. The first part of the conversation was good, but then the kids went, because part of the conversation, this is why you love kids, his daughter brought up the fact that she saw him going into a hotel with another woman, and that's who she believes he has a crush on. Martel feels that it's Melody's fault for her even knowing something like that. And maybe it is, but Martel, if you weren't doing your dirty business, your kids are going to see this eventually. You're filming a reality show. Blogs are talking about this. They're going to see it. They're young now, but they're, kids are looking at YouTube and blogs earlier and earlier now. Just saying. Exactly. You can't wait that long, not with social media, that is. That's true, because they'll meet their sibling on Instagram or TikTok. Oh wait, and first of all, you really want them to know too, because you don't want them, dating eventually. You don't want them dating eventually. That's why it's important to know your family history. Just saying. Oh goodness, just the thought. But then it goes into another part of the conversation. Well, I had to show this picture because that son is a mess. But he did say, he wants to stop crying. So he's having a tough time with this separation. And if the fighting that we see on the show is just a small part of their fighting, I'm sure they're fighting in front of the kids, and that's got to be uncomfortable. And I just hope that they really are taking this co-parenting situation seriously. I do believe that some of the fighting is played up for the cameras conveniently, because remember, they're producers on the show. But what can you do? Oh, Melody. So they have a conversation. They have a conversation about possibly the kids meeting. I don't know how I feel about that. I thought it was another volatile conversation between Martel and Melody. Again, I'm not sure if they're doing this for TV or if at every situation they get into a fight, because later on at the baseball field for Tiffany and Lewis, their celebration, their first anniversary celebration. I mean, I get it. They got married during a pandemic, so they wanted to celebrate, but at the ball field again? You still didn't have everyone there. That was a weird anniversary celebration. But Tiffany and Lewis are they make a lot of sense, but they also come across as know-it-alls, and that can be a little that can turn people off. And I know Martel wanted to sock Lewis in the face, because Lewis is coming out with all this. I'm like, mind y'all business. And then at the same time, I want to say to Martel and Melody, how about y'all keep y'all business over there? Why are you guys? They're that couple that always fights in front of you. And I don't know about anyone else. I don't want to see. First of all, you're not going to see that with me and my boo. But to see other couples, and I've been around couples that fight in front of me, and it's always awkward. It's always awkward, even if it's not all out. Because I have to say, I've never seen a couple fight as much as bad and as heated as Martel and Melody. But just even an argument that I've seen, look, I'm thinking of friends right now that do, and I'm like, why are y'all still together? I'm not going to tell. I'm not going to say who I'm thinking about. And I'm not talking about Adam and Jason. I'm just going to clear that up right now. I am not talking about Adam and Jason. I'm talking about friends that I've known for years that have been doing this for a long time. And you're like, why are y'all still together? There's always this little bickering. Always this little bickering that's going on. Exactly means Martel is lying again, delusional. Martel lies a lot in this episode. He lies a lot, but he's been lying a lot this season. He's been deflecting a lot. I'm not going to even say lying. Yes, it is lying, but he's been deflecting a lot, saying that Melody's the one that cheated, that she's the one that caused this marriage to fall apart. But he did take ownership. I wanted the divorce. Why are you battling about who wanted a divorce? Apparently, both of you wanted a divorce. Melody at one point is like, roll the tape. They're breaking the fourth wall. Roll the tape. And of course, the producers do roll the tape. She does mention it. I actually believe Melody. Melody is not my favorite on the show, and she has moments where I'm like, girl. But there's a lot of moments where Melody makes a lot of sense. And Melody is the one doing the damn thing when it comes to business. They even talk about that whole 47 acres and her. Remember, we saw and he didn't see when that real estate agent came to her with the idea, she was the one trying to be sensitive to his feelings. So I will always remember that and always respect Melody because I always feel like she handles situations a lot better than Martel. Martel's always deflecting, blaming her for the divorce, saying that she cheated, that she doesn't know what she's doing. However, they've been doing business together for a long time. And as we talked about just a couple of weeks ago, Martel filed for bankruptcy twice. So look, okay, let's talk about Marsau. Marsau and Tisha have a conversation. She reveals that she did go to therapy. But my thing is, you went to therapy. You didn't let them know you went to therapy. There's a lot of problems with Tisha and Marsau's relationship. But Marsau, again, gaslighting, deflecting. The only person on this show that seems decent is Maurice and Lewis. Maurice, though, y'all got your own issues, and we will probably see more of that next week with him and Kimmy. And we'll get to Kimmy and Tisha in a second. But Marcel's conversation with Tisha, and Tisha just brushes things under the table, and he gaslights her a lot. And one thing he did bring up that I have to say is true is the fact that people are saying, oh, there needs to be a DNA test. And he's like, there needs to be a baby. Have you guys seen a baby? But all of you believe that there is a baby and he's just keeping that under wraps. I don't know what I believe because I don't know if there is a baby, he can't keep that under wraps for long because that baby mama is going to get fed up at some point. She's going to get fed up at some point. And if there is a baby, do you think that Tisha actually knows for sure, like there is an actual baby? She defends him a lot. And at the end of the day, she should. That she's taken vows to be committed to this man. And she's still in a relationship with this man. But me personally, I just wouldn't be in a relationship with him anymore. Because I'm just like, just everything that comes out of Marcel's mouth. You're like, you really believe that? You really believe that? Just saying. Guys, we have over 400 people in the chat. Let's get to 200 likes. I'll post the call-in link so you guys can call in and share your thoughts. But remember, when you call in, no cursing, no derogatory language. But, of course, share your thoughts on the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. We're about to round out this third season of the show. I can't believe it feels like so much longer because I know they took a break in between. It feels like so much longer that the show has been on the air, but the show is still doing very well in the ratings. They're really carrying on right now. So shout out to Carlos King. It should be interesting. And I did not forget about doing a live recap of some of the details that are coming out of this new book that was published by Andy Cohen's publishing company, Not All Diamonds and Rosé. I didn't get a chance to do it, but once I'm settled back in at the studio, we will do a special live so you guys can share your thoughts because more is coming out. Speaking of Kenya more is coming out in regards to that book. And I hate to give Andy any promotion, but I always love to hear what you guys have to say. And I haven't had a chance to speak with you about some of the details that are coming out from this book. So stay tuned for that at some point next week. All right. Mods, if you can let me know where we are with the likes, because once we get to 200 likes, I'll drop the call-in link. Let's get to this conversation, though. Sidebar, I have to say this, though. I really do enjoy Destiny. I know some people are on the fence about Destiny. We don't really know Destiny's story. Did Destiny cheat on her husband? Is that why the chicken man divorced her, or did she divorce him? But Destiny, she adds that funniness to the show. I don't feel like anyone else adds the same level of funny that she does and shade. Yes, I don't love every aspect of Destiny, especially when she's not giving us her full story, but she came in like a Marlo. She's a really good friend of, but if she wants to be a housewife, we need a little bit more. And I have to use those terms just so you understand where I'm coming at with Love and Marriage Huntsville. I like Destiny, but her thinking that everything's about her. But I also thought to myself, why did they name it the Destiny race? It just, I mean, especially when you know somebody is in your group that's going to make it about them. I'm like, why y'all call it Destiny? But one thing I do love about this show is how much they try to give back to Huntsville, even though they're lining their pockets in other ways, you know, starting other businesses. But I have to give it to Marsau and Tisha. They started multiple businesses, but don't be surprised if some of those businesses close, because if they're not going to give poor Jay Lynn some help at that smoke bar, it's going to close. But I know they're trying to expand it so Marsau has some place to go in Texas. Yes, Philly John, thank you so much for reminding, guys. Let's get to 200 likes. I'll drop the call-in link again. Shout out to everyone that will be calling in. Please do not curse. A curse word every here and there is okay, but look, censorship here on these YouTube streets, it is what it is. Let me see what you guys are saying. Logan says, I was thinking that at first, but then I realized it was the second annual. So maybe they named the race before it really know. Oh, okay. So, okay, that makes sense then. That's true. See, those are the small details. If you don't pay attention, you miss out. That's the first thought. I was like, but Destiny makes everything about Destiny. Destiny makes everything about Destiny, but she also makes me laugh. She also makes me laugh. I'm okay with her being on the show, but only in a friend of capacity, because she's not giving us much of anything else. Like, we barely get to see her baby. What happened with her relationship? Did she cheat? Oh, let's talk about this. Guys, if you're just joining us, of course, we are talking about, I was about to say the Real Housewives. We're talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville. Tisha and Kimmy, their relationship, we thought they got over their issues, even though, according to Tisha, she felt like at that conversation that when they were checking in on Marsau and they went out on a couple's dinner, she felt as if Kimmy was taking a jab at her. Well, she took a few more jabs at Kimmy in this conversation. But I have to say this. So she was reaching out in a group text for sponsorships, but Kimmy felt a way about it. She didn't say it in the conversation, but she said in her confessional, asking for sponsorships in a group text, she feels that she understands where her relationship is right now with Tisha. I think a lot was not said. And I hope at the reunion we're able to get a better understanding of what's really going on with Kimmy and Tisha. But I blame Tisha. But in this moment, I couldn't understand what Kimmy was going with at that particular moment until she said it in her confessional. But if I didn't see the confessional, I would be like, Kimmy, I don't understand why you are so upset. And everyone was like, why? You didn't want us in your group chat? But then it leads to this other conversation to, oh, Kimmy's like, I don't really call people like that. And then of course, Tisha being the immature one, well, I thought to myself, yeah, she don't really be calling me. I'm always calling her. She is just so petty. I think she wants Kiowa to come back. I remembered her name. Kiowa, I remembered your name. Well, no, I remember how to pronounce your name, Kiowa. That's, let me clarify. Don't promise next week that I will remember, though. I think she had a better relationship with Kiowa, but we've talked about this multiple times. I think Kiowa, no offense, Kiowa, I'm not saying this, I'm not trying to be offensive, but I think Tisha is able to relate more to Kiowa. And I think Kimmy is just at a different level of maturity. Not saying Kiowa's immature, a level of maturity and confidence that Tisha isn't at. Just saying. Butterfly, why don't you agree with me? I'll drop the call-in link once we get to 200 likes, and you can let me know what you don't agree with me on, which is fine. Lala says Tisha has to grow up. Tisha did get very petty in this conversation. As I said to you before, originally when we were seeing this play out, I was really on Tisha's side, because I was like, why didn't you respond? Because honestly, I think if Kimmy didn't like how she was sending the group text, yeah, pick up the phone and like, girl, I'm not going to respond on that group text, but let's talk about sponsorship. That's why I feel like there's more to it. Um, let me see. Hold on. Thank you, Philly John. Guys, let's get to all we need is 23 more likes, and I will drop the call-in link for you guys to call in and share your thoughts. Again, guys, when you call in, please no curse words. Please be brief so that everyone can share their thoughts on the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Be also reminded that tomorrow, more than likely, you won't see like a full length. Normally we have multiple lives on Monday. You won't see any lives tomorrow, but you will see some shorts, YouTube shorts, guys. If you're not checking out my YouTube shorts, I know you're used to seeing long length of videos, but I'm also posting my YouTube shorts there on YouTube as well. We are live on multiple platforms right now, though, so make sure you're following us also on Facebook, TheKempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook, Kempire Radio also on Facebook, and of course, we're on Twitch and Twitter at TheKempire, and of course on TikTok. And shout out to my TikTok fam. Once I'm back in the studio, we will go back to having TikTok lives. TikTok, I don't know, it's a little funny here in Europe. The lives don't necessarily work the same. Reality check TV with Bad and Bougie. I love Kimmy, but they both were troping or tripping. That's what you meant. I think they were being petty. That's why I feel like there's more going on here. I don't think it's just what we saw in that moment, and I hope that there's some sort of clarity during the reunion. We will be getting a reunion this season. I'm not sure if they filmed the reunion right. I have a feeling that they did because he asked for questions a few weeks ago. So more than likely, we will get that reunion, and we're gonna break it down. Normally, though, the reunions for Love and Marriage, it's only like one episode, right? They don't do like one or two or three. I don't think we necessarily need 2 or 3 episodes of a reunion, but maybe we do for Love and Marriage Huntsville. All right. Guys, if you're just joining us, of course, we're talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville. We do it every single Sunday here on the channel. Normally we do it at 12 p.m. Eastern, but I'm trying out this new time. Let me know if this time works for you in the chat. And if you're watching the replay of this, let me know your thoughts on the latest episode. And if you like this timing that we're posting the Love and Marriage Huntsville conversation. Hold on, wait. Montana says, come on, Tisha makes no damn sense. I mean, as the conversation goes on, Tisha doesn't make sense, but also Kimmy didn't make a lot of sense in that moment. But when she said it in the confession, I understood. She didn't want to talk about money amongst all the women for whatever reason. And she says there's more to it in regards to her relationship with Tisha. So I couldn't really have Kimmy's back in that particular situation, but it ended up being a bigger conversation. That's why I made it the thumbnail, because like here we are again with these ladies fighting, but they're supposed to be they're in-laws, and they're still having issues. Bright Lacey, thank you so much. Kempire, anytime is good time for your BBN commentary. What is BBN commentary? Explain that to me, please. Oh, we're at 200. All right, let me drop the call-in link because I know you guys want to call in and share your thoughts. Okay, let me just do this. And my throat is already feeling dry. So here we go. Again, guys, if you're just joining us, we're doing a Love and Marriage Huntsville recap here on the channel. We have almost 500 people watching. Be sure to like the video if you haven't liked it already. You've been here already over 30 minutes, so apparently you like it. So why not hit that like button? And if you'd like to join our membership here on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, head on over to TheKempire.com and join our texting community at TextKempire.com, or you can text me at this number. I've been communicating with you guys a lot on our texting community. I love having conversations with you guys. You guys drop me tea too. I was like, oh, what's happening? I love it. I love it. Let me see what you guys say in the chat first. Kimmy has a life outside of Tisha. Tisha doesn't want to believe that, and I think that's part of the reason why she has such a bad relationship with Kimmy. Hold on. Hey, Vicky. Hold on. Tiffany says, "Is this Tiffany from the show?" Oh no, her name is what is it? Oh gosh, I can't remember it. I know it starts with a W though. I thought Kimmy didn't want to talk about money in the group chat because she probably didn't want to feel forced to give more. That's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, she didn't really say it like that, but she did allude to it being about, you know, she didn't want to talk about money in a group chat with those ladies. And I wonder what that's about, but I get it too, because I wouldn't want to talk money or how much I'm donating in a group chat. You know what I mean? So, and she said that she always supports everything that Tisha's doing. So, I don't know. All right, guys, let's take some callers and we're going to call it a wrap because, as you know, it's late here in the Netherlands and I want to hear everyone's thoughts. So let's go to Butterfly. What's going on?
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you? You're the one who said you disagreed with me. How dare you?
Right. Yeah, I do because I think y'all give Tisha a lot of flack. First of all, I think Kimmy was wrong. And at the end of the day, if you don't really call your friends and Tisha realized that she called you more than you called her, and she said, Tisha said it, I'm going to give you the energy you give me. Why am I going to put more effort in than you putting in? So I think it's fair that Tisha decided not to call her as much because at the end of the day, I do believe a friendship is two ways. I'm not going to call you more than you call me. And
I
then
agree.
And if you had a problem with talking about it in the group chat, why couldn't you pick up the phone and call me? Or why couldn't you text me separately from the group chat and say, hey, Tisha, I don't want to talk about it in the group chat. So I do feel like Kimmy was wrong in that instance. I
But
really
didn't I
do.
say that too, Butterfly?
No, because you saying, oh, Tisha's not making no sense and all this other stuff. I think Tisha made a lot of sense. Like, if you ain't calling me, why am I going to be chasing after you? My problem I have with Kimmy is I think that she has fallen back off of the relationship with her and Tisha. And I think she's not being upfront with it. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I noticed that, oh, Kimmy's so graceful and Kimmy doesn't. No, Kimmy got a lot of stuff with her too. And I peep a lot of shady
Did you
stuff
not
that she
listen to
do
me? I
and
said I
say
can't
too.
have Kimmy's back on this one. I said Kimmy didn't make no sense.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were saying she did. I apologize. I'm like,
no, I was saying the same thing, and I agree with you in regards to the whole calling thing because I feel the same way too. I'm not going to keep calling you all the time, and it feels like a one-sided friendship. I agree with that.
And I feel like Kimmy wants Tisha to chase after that, and it's like, listen, if you want your space, I'm gonna give you your space. I do think Kimmy has a personal grudge against her because of the Kiowa situation, like when they was in Vegas. Now, mind you, and I don't understand how you do because she asked you before she said it. She said, do you mind me bringing this up? Kimmy said no. So how do you turn around and then say you have a problem with it? That didn't make no sense to me neither. I don't feel bad that she asked her because she asked you before she asked you. She said, or would you be uncomfortable? Kimmy said, no, I wouldn't. So why do you turn around in the confessionals and then act like you was uncomfortable?
Well,
If
she
you would
also
have told
didn't
her up
realize what
front,
she was going to ask too in that particular.
So what? So what? You still said you was comfortable. You still said you was comfortable. So if you really wasn't comfortable, then you should have said, no, I wouldn't be comfortable. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you can't act both ways. She asked you, but prior to asking that question to your husband, and you said you would be comfortable. She let you know off rip that she was gonna bring up Kiowa off rip, and she said, "Will you be comfortable?" Kimmy said, "Yeah, go ahead." And then the confessionals, that wasn't right, girl. That don't make no sense. You should have told her right then and there, no, I wouldn't be comfortable. Like you can't like that don't make no sense to me. I don't think she was right for that one either. And I do think it has a lot to do with the relationship that Tisha had with Kiowa. I do think that's why Kimmy has pulled back. I really do think that. Now that I agree with. But I believe Kimmy is passive aggressive. She comes off as if she's the like I don't think she's as straightforward as everybody painting her to be. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I'm always rooting for the underdog. I just think y'all give Tisha a lot of flack, call a lot of slow and all this other stuff. I don't think Tisha's
said that.
But I do think that the therapist was right and pointing out. I think the therapist was trying to tiptoe around really being honest with her about the type of husband that she's married to. So I credit him that because I think he's trying to keep it professional. But like many of us, we all see that there's something wrong with that marriage and that man is not all the way honest in that marriage. And unfortunately, Tisha said something in that interview when she said that I was independent and Maurice asked me to stop being independent. And I'm so thankful that the therapist brought up to it. Well, maybe he asked you to stop being independent because that way, if you did need to leave him, you would feel stuck and wouldn't leave him if he did something to you that he should not have been doing. So I do think it's about a control thing with Marcel. And I think that her awakening is scaring him. Very much so. Because I do think he does do a lot of things, underhanded things to her, but he's able to get away with it because he got her like he's trying to be the man and lead, and it's really not about him trying to be a man and lead. It's about him trying to be a man in control. He can have his cake and eat it too. That's just my opinion. I'm gonna let somebody else talk. I'm sorry, Kempire. I didn't mean to go off on you.
No, it's okay. We appreciate everyone's opinions here on the channel.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to come off as a little hostile, but I'm just like, damn, y'all be ragging on my boo Tisha, man. Y'all just don't give her no credit for nothing. Like, everybody else is smart and everybody else is this and that, but Tisha's not smart. Like, come on. Y'all just rag on her too much for me.
I'm glad you called in because I don't want it to feel like we're all bashing Tisha here when we're recapping. So I'm glad you called in to defend her.
Yes, thank you. I love you guys though, and I love everybody else's opinion too. I just have a different one, and I'm not drinking the Kimmy Kool-Aid like everybody else. I see her little sneaky, shady ways just as much, and she does say a lot of shady. Wanda was right. She do be on the internet doing little digs. Wanda was not lying about that, but Tisha, Kimmy's not going to stand in that because she Miss Perfect. But anywho, all right, I'm gonna let somebody else go up. I love you. Thank you.
Bye. That was Wanda's cousin. No, I'm playing. All right, guys. If you're just joining us, of course, we're talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'm going to take some more calls. We have quite a few people backstage. Callers, just a reminder, please no cuss words. We're not trying to get demonetized. So, if a cuss word slips, I get it. But just not every other word. All right, Miss Janaea, I'm going to bring you up for a quick comment. What's going on, Miss Janaea?
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Of course. What's going on?
Well, FYI, this is my first season watching this. I had a friend of mine that used to always talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, and I was, the reality stuff I can't get into. And slowly but surely, I would just see your show and other shows like yours speaking on it. And, maybe the pandemic, that may be what it was. And so I got caught up. So now I'm in the thick of it with Wanda and everybody else. So, first relationship, Martel and Melanie. I did like the fact that they were trying to co-parent in a way to make their children comfortable. The picnic was a good scene. However, It was highly noticeable. You said you have you're a psychology major. That's one of many of mine. And so, what was very noticeable was that they were out of their league trying to navigate the opinions of their kids when they were talking to them. So they definitely would probably benefit them as well as the children to take the kids to a child psychologist to help the children deal with their issues and their concerns, to get out everything that they want without, as you could see, Martel and Melody feeling so uncomfortable that they steer the kids away from truly expressing themselves. So it was definitely noticeable that they had a lot to say, and definitely noticeable that both Mel and Martel were uncomfortable with what they were hearing and trying to, try to finesse what they were going to hear. So they definitely, the kids would benefit in seeing a psychologist of their own by themselves, perhaps. What also was noticeable and just, slimy like Martel is, you shouldn't have let the kid see me in a hotel. Maybe there's something more there than I could detect because I didn't see the other seasons or whatever, but how can she stop her kid from seeing you out and about? Come on now. His chauvinistic, little horns were just like spinning in that show. And I was like, please, let's get out of this, this picnic needs to end right now, because I was not a fan of Mel initially. However, the fact that she can remain calm and sit so close to Martel without hauling off and whacking him, she deserves a medal, because every time he says something slick and she can smile at him, in my mind, I'm like, girl, I don't even know you, but if you called me in the middle of the night to hide his body, I'd help you.
No, come on.
No. You know what I mean. Yeah. But he makes it hard to, let alone love. He makes it hard to like him. Yeah. Tisha and Marsau. Remember the episode? I don't know if it was the one before last week or the one before that, where Marsau was talking to the guys and he said he used to watch Tisha like stand back and watch her walk ahead of him and her shoulders back, and how he thought that she had so much confidence, and that's I believe he was alluding to that's what drew him to her. So in that aspect, because I was having a hard time initially believing Tisha to say that she was independent before, but then when I hearken back to when he said that, and then thinking of her mother, I would think, yeah, she probably was, a go-getter, and I'm going to do this, and this myself, because that's what she's seen. Yeah. However, if you have a guy that's chauvinistic and wants to be the head of his household, you can't have a queen with a big mouth. And that's not my speaking. My father is a little bit like that, and half of it came from his upbringing, half is from he's a military man. And so Tisha, I think, is getting a she's recognizing her power, or trying to harness maybe what she had before. And I think it's scaring Marsau. I think it's scaring him, one, because they have 3 kids. Number 2, he's seeing the premonition or the gaze of what Martel is going through, and how it threw him to the ground, and he doesn't want it for himself. And I think he's trying to navigate, how can I not be where Martel is? And I think Tisha the same way. I don't want to be Melody. And actually, she can't, because she's not doing enough to do that same thing. Melody held the reins a lot in her and Martel's relationship, and Tisha doesn't. So I think that's where they are. And the relationship between Kimmi and Tisha, I think Kimmi is a little, passive aggressive, but who isn't? So, everybody needs a little, if to navigate in this world, you need to know keep a good passive aggressiveness in your holster in order to survive. But I think with Kimmi, Tisha coming into herself, she's evaluating every relationship, and this is one of them. So that's all. I'll let
Miss
somebody
else. I appreciate
aboard.
You calling in for your very analytical perspective.
Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your trip.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
You as well. Thank you.
Bye. All right, guys, if you're just joining us, we have over 500, almost 600 people watching this video. Be sure to like the video if you haven't liked it already. Subscribe to the channel. And did I hear they got rid of the notification bell? I got to double check on that. If it's still there for you, be sure to turn that on as well, and double check that your notification bell is on. And if you're not a part of the texting community, join the texting community at TheKempire.com for more details. Bad and Bougie's backstage. I'm going to bring her up. What's going on, Miss Bad and Bougie? You're muted.
Not muted this time.
What's going on?
Nothing. I have so much to say.
Okay.
I have so much to say. First of all, Tisha, your man is cheated. He didn't have a baby. No man is going to sit there and not answer the question. Any husband is going to say, baby, there's no baby. You know what I'm saying? The fact that he keeps, if I did, I deserve kudos because you never find. And she's like, yeah, baby, you do. Like, I'm fed up with Tisha's ass. Okay? At the end of the day, I'm a wife. I'm going to go out there and find out. I love you. You're my husband. But at the end of the day, I'm going to find out what the fuck's going on with.
Come on, Bad Bougie. You on these YouTube streets.
Find out what the heck is is going on with these rumors. You know what I'm saying? She just keeps saying, yeah, and I will give you your props, babe, because
you got her voice down.
If my husband told me, well, if I do have a baby, I deserve all the kudos because you don't know nothing about it, I'm gonna be like, what the hell kind of answer is that? You supposed to say, baby, there's no baby. Okay. Secondly, Tisha and Kimmy. First of all, I'm disappointed in Kimmy because normally she doesn't take the low road, but she's like, I don't want to be on a text with them. And then in her confessional, well, you didn't need to ask me to check. First of all, y'all supposed to be sisters. Didn't y'all just make up and hug and kiss and cry in the pool? In the jacuzzi? So now all of a sudden, I don't want to be in a text with everybody else. Well, if you felt offended by that, and I'm a Kimmy fan, okay, but she triggered me. I'm like, if you're okay, so if you're always the one telling Tisha if she has an issue, call you. Then if you didn't want to be in a group text, you could have hit her like, sis. Okay, I'm definitely gonna help with the event, but as my sis, I feel like you should have hit me up separately. That's what she should have said. And then I felt like the whole conversation between them was stupid because then Tisha, who I'm not a fan of, comes back with, well, you're planning stuff and you don't tell me. Okay, what stuff am I planning? Well, I ain't gonna say. Oh my God. Like, this is the most, like, Tisha, come on, you acting like your mama right now. You're acting hella ghetto. And this doesn't make sense. If you wasn't gonna bring up what she was planning without you, then then don't even bring it up. Then Tisha, and I don't hate Tiffany, but I'm not a fan of Tiffany. But Tiffany, what she said in her confessional was correct. Like, you call her out in front of all of us, but then when Mel and Tiffany, have some feedback, she's like, this is between us. Okay, well then why didn't you talk to her personally one-on-one? That's your sis. Why are you talking about it here? I'm assuming if we're all sitting here right next to each other, shoulders to shoulder, that if you bringing it up right now, then we can have a comment. So that pissed me off. And then I'm going to tell you, Marsau is damn near mentally abusive. And because he was just like, well, I don't feel you should have went to the counselor if you're going to be more confused than you was when you went in. Of course she is, because your ass is telling her that she shouldn't think nothing, but at the same time, you ain't telling her nothing.
Yep.
But I think this is what I think. I think behind the scenes, Tisha knows. Come on.
I was thinking the same thing.
Because if you remember, Mel mentioned that last season. So to me, as a wife, between last year and now, I'm going to be them figured out. I'm going to get down to the bottom of this baby. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Lastly, Destiny. I love Destiny. You know what I'm saying? I love her. I love her confessional looks. I love everything about Destiny. But Destiny, I like you. But if you ain't going to say nothing about your life, why are you here? You ain't going to say nothing. I want to know. Only thing we know about Destiny is she misses her baby. And she want to drag people, and she don't like Tiffany. That's the only thing we don't know. That's the only thing we know. So why is she on the show? What do we know about her? Nothing. And she got a beauty supply. Sally's.
Is it a Sally's that she owns?
No, it ain't Sally's. I'm just saying.
I was like, wait, is she part of a franchise?
No, I'm just saying, like, come on now, Destiny. You gonna have to tell us a little bit more. Did you cheat on your man? Did your man cheat on you? We know every episode, I miss my baby. I just want to go home to my baby. Oh, okay, girl. But what else is going on? And Martel. Now he bringing up Kanye and Kim.
And Kim.
Just like Kanye said, I let her get a chance to divorce me before I divorce her. Listen, dude, seriously, you got to stop. You got to stop. You know what I'm saying? With these tight ass clothes, I think they're cutting off his circulation and his brain, and he's acting stupid. And then when he said that thing about when Mel said, yeah, I didn't find out about my other siblings till I was 18, and he gonna say, maybe 18. I'm like, I would just want to slap the Oh, I just want to backhand his ass. Like, Martel, stop it, okay? You didn't want to file divorce. You wanted to keep cheating and having outside babies. And the only reason you guys actually got a divorce was because she pursued it. Stop playing, Martel. Like, to me, I be trying to like Martel, trying to like him, but then every time he does some F stuff, and it just makes me like, yeah, this is why I don't like you. And take off your
I don't know why you're even trying.
Yeah, take off your son's Bermuda shorts and your son's t-shirt and put on some clothes that fit you and get a brain that fits you. Because right now, like, I was going to divorce her, but, you know, I was letting her because Kanye West did it with Kim. Like, seriously?
Oh, Martel.
But anyway, this is my first time on your little platform. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, thank you for calling in.
Anybody else I want to hit real quick? Okay, Marsau.
You already talked about Marsau.
Okay, I'm just saying. I just want to be clear. And Kimmi, this is the first time you ever disappointed me on an episode because you're just like, I didn't want to be on a text with everybody. Like, girl. And then Tisha, I'm just like, girl, when are you gonna realize that your man is cheating? I'm just waiting on that episode. I don't know if it's gonna happen during the reunion or when it's gonna happen, but I'm ready for this to go ahead and happen already, or let's stop talking about it.
All right, Bad and Bougie, I appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much for calling with your very, very interesting opinion.
I know people hate me now, but it's okay.
No, they don't hate you. We love different opinions here on the channel. Thank you so much for calling in.
All right, peace and love. Bye.
Guys, we're going to take these last ones too. Bernice is backstage, Shady Gal, Danielle, Logan. No one else called back in. I'm not even posting the call-in link because we're already over we're almost an hour. I want to hear what everyone has to say. Miss Bernice, you're up next. Guys, again, don't forget to like the video if you haven't liked it already. If you're watching the replay of this, I want to know your thoughts on the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Be sure to let me know in the chat. And if you're still enjoying it, Bernice, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm fine. It's the Lord's Day. This was a filler episode. It wasn't really about anything. The scene with Melody, Martell, and the kids. You know Martell been coaching them kids because his son looked dead at him when he said, I just want y'all to be happy and get back together. He looked dead at his daddy. The baby innocent. Martell, you told on yourself. Come on now. You are so... I said it's the Lord today, so I got to choose my words carefully when I describe him.
Remember what I said.
Yes. He is so egotistical. It's to the umpteenth power. How are you going to have a decent scene like that? But when you're around the adults, you act a complete butthead. Proving that y'all should have been got divorced. Okay? I gave the divorce to her. No, boo, she got tired of you. Because she wasn't changing.
Yeah.
And I can understand what Kim was saying. Don't be counting the money in my pocket. You asking for money. So you sending out a group text because a friend of mine used to send out group texts asking people for everything. And then once everybody responds, you get a copy of all those texts. I don't want to see that on my phone.
I hate a group text.
I hate a group text. Delete me off that group text. You want to talk to me? Talk to me. I hate them. And no. And I can understand. Don't be counting what's in my pocket. And you my sister. You saying you my sister. We squashed all of this. Like she said, you've been calling me. So why you didn't call and tell me? You know, and she could, and Tisha never answered that question. Well, I'm just gonna stop calling you. She said, well, Tisha, I've never been a calling type person, and you know this. So you both of y'all being foolish, but I can understand. Don't count what's in my pocket. You want me to give money? You pull me to the side, like, baby. Our goal is to reach this amount of money, and I want each one of my girlfriends to give this amount. You should have did that to every female. You shouldn't have just did it to Kimmy.
Yeah.
Okay, Obi-Wan Kenobi and his Jedi mind trick.
Which one? Because I feel like it's between Marcel and Marsau.
Marsau. Every time when I have hope for Tisha, like the counsel was telling her the truth, and this goes for any person who's out there in a relationship, be it male or female, if the thing that attracted them to you, and all of a sudden they just want to change it, that's not the person for you. And Marsau, ooh, he is so controlling to the. How you gonna tell her the sun is up right now, but when you got finished talking to her, she look outside. Where the sun go? Come on, Tisha. I'm looking at her like, when he said that about what I should get credit for, that was a Martel moment. You want to get credit for doing some dirt? I believe you did some dirt. And Tisha, I'm gonna pray for her. Because she needed to step back into her womanhood, the woman she was 15 years ago. You had it going on that would attracted you to him. And what you saw in him. You're supposed to have the person by your side, not behind you. You're not royalty, Marsau. She don't supposed to step behind you. The Lord took Adam's rib for Eve to always walk side by side with Adam, not behind him. Come on now. He don't want to equal. He don't want to equal. He don't want a woman that's smarter than him. And Tisha is way more smarter than Marsau. And he don't want to admit it. And as long as he keep playing these games, these emotional games, and it is emotional abuse with her, and she don't see the joy and the value that she has in herself as a woman. Like he asked her, what are you besides a mother and a wife? You're Letitia, right? So when Letitia gonna be happy? When Letitia gonna do what she want to do for her? Not with your husband, not with your kids, for her.
Yep.
And I said, boom, she gonna get it. She gonna get it. And then she walked into Obi-Wan Kenobi and it just went all out the window.
Well, I mean, remember, this is years and years of brainwashing.
Yes. And it's gonna take some time. Woo. But when she wake up, I'll be so glad she kicked that bump to the curb. Because I don't like Maurice and Marsau, I really don't care for either one of them. And then you got Martel punk butt. So all the M's they can get rid of. Really.
Oh my goodness. Miss Bernice.
Because Martel is that way because of his mother. His mother coddled and babied him his whole life, and he ain't worth jack now.
She's going to be on next week.
Yeah, because I saw the preview. Her telling him, he said, yeah, I told the kids, that's the song your mama wrote about your daddy. Why would you do that?
Because
why would you? Right. You're another Wanda. And for him to, for him with this concept, well, I'm going to wait till they're 18. Y'all in the same town. It's not like.
Small town.
Thank you. They go cross paths. And being the type of person that your baby mama is. Come on now. You lost points, man. You like girlfriend said, his clothes too tight. It's cutting off air circulation to his brain.
Oh, I can't wait to see what he does to the reunion. Miss Bernice, as always, you make me laugh. I want to get to these last 3 callers. I appreciate you calling in. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Miss Bernice is so funny. Guys, if you're just joining us, of course, we are recapping the Real Housewives. No. Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 3, episode 14. It's about to be a wrap on this season. I can't wait for the reunion. I know a lot of you keep hitting me up when I'm going to start doing some interviews. Once I get settled back into the studio and we got our technology and studio set up, we will get some interviews. Maybe we can get Carlos King back here on the channel so we can talk about some of his new projects. It's been years since I've spoken to Carlos King, so that will be an interesting conversation to have. And maybe we'll wait until a new project is coming out with Carlos. I don't want to just have him on here unless we get him before the reunion. All right. Danielle's backstage and Logan's backstage and Shady Gal is backstage. And those will be the last callers that we will take for this evening. Again, guys, if you haven't liked the video already, we have already over 500 something people watching. Let's get to 400. Oh, look, let's get to 500 likes. Come on now. 500 you've been watching for this long. You have to like the video. All right. Let me bring up Danielle. What's going on, Danielle?
Hey there.
How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Happy Sunday. I'm relaxing. I'm here in the mountains of this beautiful house, this beautiful views. Yeah. Weekend getaway.
Oh, excuse me.
That's how we do.
Oh, in Huntsville?
No, in the DMV, honey. Don't play with me.
Thoughts on this episode?
Okay. I'm going to be as quick as possible. I just want to refresh everyone about why we love Kimmi. I feel like, yes, Kimmi wasn't making sense on her not wanting to be part of the group text, but I feel like Kimmi has always been able to verbally explain why, who, what, when, why, where. And I'm wondering if things were edited to make it look like she wasn't being transparent. And we don't know Kimmi to not give you everything that she's thinking.
That's true.
So even though we got at the confessional, that doesn't seem like the Kimmi we all grown to love. That clip does not seem like the Kimmi we all love. Kimmi has always been very verbal and vocal about whatever it is she's feeling, even though she pauses because she's very mindful of how she says things, because she tries to make sure she's not defending anyone or coming
especially when it comes to Tisha.
Especially when it comes to Tisha. So I think we need to remember that key piece about our girl Kimmi. Tisha, I don't believe Tisha was this strong woman when Marsau met her. And I've said this before. Marsau knew what he was getting, what type of woman he was getting when he married her. And I believe that's why he married her, because he knew what type of man he was, and he knew what he was going to be able to get away with. He knew his audience, and he knew how he was going to be able to play her. Oof, I also want us to remember, I want us to remember that Tisha has been screaming for these last 3 years. There have been challenges in her marriage. They've only been on this show for 3 years now. I believe that Tisha probably knew about Marsau and his alleged infidelity, and that the fact that they're now on this platform, because Mel has been saying this with little jabs since season 1. Like Mel has known since season 1 she's not the only one whose husband has been stepping out. And if you guys remember from season 1, there was that scene where Marsau was getting on Martel. He was like, "Man, you still got a bat phone?" when they were at the football field. And he was alluding to he's done the same thing, but he knows how to cover his stuff up better, especially now that we are on this platform. You can't have this second hidden life on national television like this. And they didn't even know it was going to blow up the way it's blown up. Yeah. But look at me now. Look, God, we made it. So they have to, I just feel like a lot of things are going to hit the fan and the truth is going to come out. Our old folks have always told us what's done in dark is always going to come to light. And now that y'all on this platform, it's going to come to light. I think the scene with the kids, Martel and Melody, was very staged. I appreciate the conversation and I appreciate it for TV, but I wish they had staged it with a therapist.
To navigate the conversation a little bit better.
Because remember last season, Melody brought her friend, the lady that came and talked to the kids that night. They went out to go do something they were doing outside, something real cute outdoors. And she was like, "Oh, this is my friend. I brought her to talk." That was like when she was trying to break the divorce to them. Why couldn't we get another scene like that where we're now mom and dad are sitting down with you guys to see how you, and maybe they have, maybe that was edited out, who knows? But I just feel like that scene was very staged. And to Bernice's point, the son was rehearsed because he said his little line and looked at his dad like, "Dad, did I get it right? Did I do it?" And that's what it was given. Oh. What else? And I know no one really likes Tiffany and Lewis, but Lewis is the voice of reason for the men. He holds Martel accountable. And when he said, come on, from a man and from a man's perspective, why do you feel like you have to have the last word? Martel needs that. Martel needs a man like Lewis. He needs that friend that's going to hold him accountable. And Lewis is that guy. Lewis is that male friend that's not going to let you huff and puff and blow smoke up my backside and me not call you out on it. So I like that part. Destiny, we need more from Destiny. I really haven't liked Destiny from day one when she came for Kimmy talking about the only thing she know about a chicken man is him cooking chicken. If that's what your man is known for, praise that man for cooking that good chicken and be done with it. I need her to do more. I need Destiny to give me more. It's cute for the kicks and giggles here and there, but I need more if she's really one. But I think you made a good point. I like her just as a friend of the show. She doesn't need to be anything more because she's not going to. If she's not going to be upfront honest with us about her situation, her quick marriage, her quick divorce, her alleged infidelity, we can quickly just keep you as a friend and kick and scream or have you when we need you. Because we don't really need. We got enough. We got enough with the mothers next weekend. We got enough with Marsau and Kim. Marsau and Tisha. We got enough. We really don't even need Destiny for real. We got enough. And
Billy John says Destiny can kick rocks.
Thanks, Billy John. I love how people in Philly talking about Jones. But yes, she can kick rocks. She can keep it moving. And I think that's it. I think everyone else pretty much tapped on everything I wanted to say. I'm about to go get in the jacuzzi and enjoy this mountain weather.
Goodbye, Destiny. I'm about to go goodbye, Destiny.
No, you didn't. How dare you? Owen,
we were just talking about
that.
We were just talking about Destiny, but it's fitting. Goodbye,
Destiny. So not fitting. You Turb. You so shady when it comes to me. I'm gonna get you. You just wait. You wait till you get back home.
Have a good evening. Enjoy your time.
You too, baby.
Bye. A mess. Guys, if you're just joining us, of course, we are taking callers, recapping Love and Marriage Huntsville. The season's almost over, but there's a lot to talk about, and a lot of you share your thoughts. Last week's episode that we recapped, so many of you are sharing your thoughts there. If you're watching the recap of this, be sure to let me know your thoughts on the latest episode, how you felt about this episode. Those of you that are watching, we have almost 600 people watching. Let me know how you would rate the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 3, episode 14. From 1 to 10, how would you rate this episode? Let me know in the chat. I'm going to take these last two callers, Shady Gal and Logan. Shady Gal, you're up first. What's going on, Shady Gal?
Oh, it's a beautiful Sunday morning. Might be night for you, but yesterday was an interesting episode. I rarely comment on this particular show on your channel, but I just felt like I'm just tired of some of these people acting like we don't see them, like the camera's not rolling. And what I mean by that, Martel, we have watched you for the last 3 seasons. Baby, when did you want to divorce Mel? Ever? Because, honey, you was like, baby, please don't leave. I'll leave Coast alone. She's just a peasant. You pussy popped all over the internet trying to keep your wife. Baby, she left you. She moved away from you. It wasn't you left her or moved out. You never did that. So why are we trying to rewrite the story talking about Kanye? Baby, you got divorced before Kanye got divorced. What you mean? What?
And they're not even fully divorced yet.
My point. Baby, y'all fully divorced. Kim said that last year. You was divorced by then, boo-boo. Who are you lying to? Who are you putting on this show for? Because it's not us. You the one who took your butt on Steve Harvey and read your little strawberry letter out. Put all your business out there. Shoot, lying to us. What the heck? And please take y'all children to a true psychologist. Like, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but y'all can barely hold it together because both of them like to go tit for tat. But I'll say this: Martel always starts it. Like Martel, as soon as she mentions that baby, it's a vice grip around his throat and his face. He just want to punch somebody. Like, baby, you created him. Love your little son. Own him. Acknowledge him. We ain't seen you make not nan post about him. You post about all your other kids. Ain't seen one picture of your son. Don't tell me that you're gonna treat that baby the same, because you already haven't. Milani got more posts than him, and they only a couple of months apart. They ghetto twins. Come on now.
Damn.
Are they?
About that.
I mean, they are. And to be fair, and Melody would have had another ghetto twin because she was allegedly pregnant at the same time. But you know, that's tea. That's a lot. I was disappointed in Kimmi this episode because I'm so used to her being very frank and logical in her explanations about, you know, her feelings or why she does things a certain way. I've come to appreciate that. This whole don't put me in the same text message stuff didn't make not a lick of sense. You about as logical as Martel wanted a divorce and that Melody was cheating. Like, girl, that dog went home. 2 + 2 does not equal 4, boo-boo. The math ain't mathing. Maybe there's some more to the scene. I'm willing and want to know. But concerning her relationship with Letitia, girl, y'all just gonna have to let that go. I think they just need to let it go, because at the end of the day, Kimmi is not gonna lie for you, and you're still mad about that when you came up with that lie back in season 1, and you over here still playing into the whole joke of her being a side chick and the whole Kaiwa stuff. At the end of the day, like, Kaiwa seems to have moved on for it, but it was a whole joking episode this season. Like, you keep bringing that up. Martel keeps bringing that up. But at the end of the day, old man had moved away. Sweetie, when you move states away from your wife, it's over. It's over. He went and paid, he decided to pay rent somewhere else. You don't pay rent in another location when you want to work things out. You don't move to Alabama from Michigan when you want to work things out. Baby, that marriage was dead gone. And if they started talking, they started talking. But at the end of the day, y'all got together and you have a ring now. You didn't break up her marriage because he didn't move to Huntsville for you. That facts are facts, Affleck. And I don't know. I want Tisha to do better. When she said that she used to be independent in this show, I kind of find it hard to believe, and I'm gonna tell you why. Marsau acts just like Miss Wanda minus the mess.
Yeah.
He controls her the very same way.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that at one point in your life you were independent? Because the way you howl and you cower to Marsau, you do the same thing with your mama.
But maybe in her mind, she thought she was independent. I believe that's what it is.
In her mind, she's like the queen. She's like Regina George in Mean Girls, when really you're Gretchen Wiener. Except that you're Gretchen Wiener. You're not even Katie. You're Gretchen, boo. Like, you are not that girl. And that's okay. What I would prefer for you to do is stop pretending that you're stupid and that we're stupid. Because you know what your man's doing and what he has done. We know it because he's not a great liar. And we can see that. You see the BS. And everybody keeps saying the same thing, whether it's so-called Mel digging at you and stuff. And it could be, you know, Mel has every right to get back at you. I mean, you the one who brought up coleslaw on her BMW to her face on camera. So if she's doing that digging, that's fine. But I find it crazy that other people have corroborated the same stuff in Huntsville. And they said the same thing. So, sweetie, stop playing stupid. Just own up to it. You'll get a lot more credit from me because I don't think you're dumb. You're playing dumb, or you're choosing to be willfully ignorant, which is worse. You too beautiful to be that stupid. You got a master's from Auburn. Auburn is not no joke. You are smart, girl. Living your truth, living your education, your brains. Maybe you don't want to be a single mama, but you never know. Look at Martel. Martel but got divorced, thought he was going to do something, and he's basically homeless. He's a homosexual now. So he's a homosexual.
Not a hobo.
He is a homosexual. It's that season, you know, when you guys sit here and find you a new sugar mama for winter so you can stay warm, wearing them tight clothes because you can't afford no new clothes, drive around them same raggedy cars. You over here having to file true, like Chapter 7 bankruptcy. You got a felony on your record allegedly, and you can't make moves. And you over here trying to get custody of kids so you can get child support. Sweetie, you that's never gonna be Tisha's situation. I'll say that if they were to get divorced, I'm not wishing that on them. sweetie, that would never be her situation. Martel can't do a lick of things. He got to sit up here and pray for other people to be nice to him and put them on his contract or on their contract so he can make some money. Mel got the license. Mel got the offices. Mel may have filed bankruptcy, but she filed Chapter 11 and moved her money into Melody Holdings. That was a power move. We done seen 50 Cent do that to many people who tried to sue him. And we all know 50 got money. There's a big difference between Chapter 11 versus Chapter 7. So, Tisha, live in your truth. And at the end of the day, if this man really got kids, take his butt to the bank. Get your money for your pain. He ain't no penis worth you having to put up with Marsau's big, ugly attitude, baby. You could do better.
Shady gal, as always, you always make me laugh and always shady. So we appreciate you calling in and sharing your opinion.
Love you.
Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
And we're going to get to our last caller in just a second. I just want to say thank you to C. Simone for the super chat. Appreciate you supporting the channel. And everyone is falling out over the hobosexual. I am so going to use that. Just an FYI, shady gal. I'm going to be using that term going forward, especially for this season that's about to come upon us. Happy fall, everyone. Guys, if you're just joining us, we have over 600 and something people watching. Be sure to like the video. Let's get to at least 500 likes, because we've had steadily over 500 and something people watching. Obviously, you like what you're hearing and seeing. So like the video. It's a great way of supporting the channel. You don't have to send in a super chat. You don't have to subscribe. I mean, I'd like it if you subscribe and hit the notification bell. But like the video. Let's get it out to more people. And I'm going to get to this last caller. Logan has called in because she has thoughts. What's going on, Logan?
Hey, Kempire. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. I believe mine will be fairly quick.
Okay.
And I hate to go last because I feel like everyone said everything that has, to be said. But I feel like Marsau is hiding in plain sight by literally saying, I should be awarded for what I'm doing. If I can do that, I'm the best one to do. He's telling her literally what he has done. So him by just like egging her on, saying it sarcastically, being deceptive, he's telling her exactly what he's done. So she needs to pick up those cookie trails, keep that in the back of her mind, get her an attorney that is ready to file that.
Logan's like, call me.
Get ready, because it's just like, girl, he's literally just telling her. He's doing it in a way that's, tongue in cheek. And then with Tisha and her issue with Kimmy, Tisha was just like her mom, Mama Wanda, when she came to Kimmy with no receipts, no facts, no proof, no explanation. When they asked for the explanation, she would not give it. And it's just like, girl, y'all are one and the same. And I see why now Marsau don't even like you, Tisha, because he doesn't like Mama Wanda.
Oh my gosh, you bring up a good point.
I mean, it all just goes one and the same. And then I think about, you said you were a psych major. I was as well. So if I'm thinking about it, it's just, generational things that go on. Like she probably talked to Mama Wanda probably talked to Tisha's dad, like how Tisha talks to Marsau, and probably does the same thing that she does. That's why I don't feel like there may be a relationship with Tisha's dad. There's probably not one that's existing.
Yeah.
And again, everything's really been said, but I know for next week, and yes, I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I live in Birmingham, Alabama, born and raised. These accents, I have one, and I know I do, but
I love it. I love Southern accents.
The ghetto, as Mama Wanda says. And then even Melody's mom, who's so poised and so, she's like, woman, girl, it's just woman. It's women or woman, not woman. So it's just like they try to, be so pretentious. Her and Melody, which, I mean, you get your education great, but the mama, you still a hood, Melody's mom. Even if you try, or it's just country. Let me say that. And it's not a problem, but she thinks herself as higher than the others when she tells Tisha, "Don't touch me, get your hands off me." We'll see that, next episode.
I can't wait for next week's episode. I think next week's episode, because we're going to get Mama Wanda, we get Melody's mom, we get Martel's mom. It's about to be a situation. I think next week's episode is going to be worth the watch. And of course, we're going to recap it here. Logan, anything else before I let you go?
And then when you just mentioned Martel's mom, she's the one going up in there and stirring it up, as Funky Dineva says. Like, she said she was telling the babies that was the song that the mama made about the daddy. And then he's like, "Mom, you can't be he can't really go in on her, but she is stirring up."
She really is.
But she's just gonna be like, "Oh, I didn't know," He'll like let her have, just have it and not say much to her. But no, mama, you're not doing any better.
All right, Logan, thank you so much for calling in. Have a great rest of your day.
You as well.
Bye. Thanks. Guys, if you're just joining us, we have over 600 and something people watching. We are live on multiple platforms, including TheKempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, TheKempire. Be sure to follow me there. Also follow me on my TikTok, TheKempire, because you're getting exclusive content on those platforms. And I will be doing, I think this week, yes, part 3 of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion. We've been doing those watch parties. We will get back to doing those watch parties. So be sure to follow me on my social media. Everything is at TheKempire, and of course at Kempire Radio and Kempire Daily. Speaking of Kempire Radio, subscribe to my podcast, Kempire Radio, where you get an unfiltered version and some things that I don't talk about anywhere else, like what's going on with my trips, those types of things, or other things that I haven't talked about here on the platform. Shout out to my moderators. Shout out to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. I appreciate you guys keeping this space an open and honest and comfortable place for people with differing opinions. And we're going to continue to make that a thing here on the channel. As always, for the people that are watching the replay, I want to know your opinion. But as always, I'm not moderating adults. So if you share an opinion and someone doesn't like it, you have to deal with that. And if you don't like it, you don't have to share your thoughts to that person. You can share your counter thoughts. As long as they're not derogatory, racist, sexist, they won't be deleted. Okay? Again, thank you to my moderators. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm looking forward to what the rest of the season has to give us, specifically with the moms next week. And I'm looking forward to this reunion. We're going to break it down because, as I said, we are recapping Love Marriage Huntsville every single week, and more content is coming to the channel, including Kempire in the morning, where you're going to get daily hot topics in the morning. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. That's going to be coming out later this year. And we are going to be adding new shows coming to the channel this year and also at the top of 2022. So stay tuned for all of that, guys. Stay tuned for all of that. And shout out to everyone that sent in a super chat that's a part of our membership. All of what you're doing and supporting the channel helps the channel continue to expand and do bigger and better things. I also want to say thank you to everyone that's already donated to our monthly fundraiser. You know, we've started this thing I think the first thing that we did was we raised over $5,000 for the Haiti earthquake for people in Haiti. And we're going to continue on a monthly basis, have a fundraiser. This month for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we are raising $2,500 for Black Women's Health Imperative. So if you haven't donated already, be sure to check out this video after the live, but also the other videos that we've posted in the last few weeks that have a link to the fundraiser. So let's get to that $2,500 and more goal before the end of the month. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. Have a great rest of your evening. Tomorrow, there will be a slow day in regards to video content, but be sure to check out my YouTube shorts for under 15 seconds, under a minute, hot topics, reality TV recaps, and so much more. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, thank you to my moderators. I can't do this without you guys because it's so important for me that this space is a welcoming and inviting space for conversation. So thank you to my moderators, and thank you to everyone that may not be a moderator, but do moderating work in the channel, like getting those likes up. So again, guys, if you haven't liked the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know, don't miss out on anything that might be coming up in the future. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll talk to you later.